Hmm, 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 hmm. The Detroit Lions beat the ever-loving shit out of the Vikings tonight. Boy, it was close early. At halftime, it was about 10-6, but boy, it kind of turned on a dime. It really did turn on a dime. After the end of the second quarter and on, it was just a bloodbath. The Lions just proved they're just a better team, and now the Vikings could be in for a short exit. It could be very well be losing next week to the Rams. Wouldn't that be great? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And let's get talking about this debacle for the Vikings because, boy, they could not score. They could not score. They got 3 field goals by Will Riker, so maybe they assuaged their kicker concern for a bit. But he did miss one wide right, and he did kick a ball out of bounds, which set up the Lions for a last-second field goal to end the second quarter. It was 7-6, but the Vikings were just in the charitable mood tonight and gave them a chance to make a field goal. Now, Lions certainly had their moments of generosity with Goff throwing an absolute bomb from basically the goal line down the field to Harrison Smith, who was just an easy catch. But after that, I mean, the Vikings just couldn't score. They could not score on a hooker and a whorehouse. Like, for real. They got stopped at the goal line like 5, 6 times. And they kept throwing it to their best option, Justin Jefferson, one of the best wide receivers in the league. And Sam Darnold could not find him. On top of that, the Lions defense was ferocious. Now they lost a couple more players. Terry Arnold went out with an ankle injury and was not able to return. Another player as well. But still, the Lions defense just continues to prove why they're so good. They play hard, they play with passion, and you can really show it in their team. Now, sure, this might come to bite them later in the playoffs for sure. But right now, they are just a clicking, and they have 2 weeks to recover before their next game. But the Vikings have to go into LA next week to face the Rams, and the Rams could very well beat them. Tonight, offensively, just not much to speak of from Sam Darnold. I mean, had a couple plays here and there, but largely they were just stymied. Completely stymied. Whenever they got within the 10-yard line, they just got stopped. They went for it on fourth down like 2 times. Instead of taking the easy points, they tried to score touchdowns, and as a result, basically gave the Lions more and more opportunities. And when you give a team like the Lions more and more opportunities, what's going to happen? The Lions are going to score on those opportunities more times than not. Defensively, the Vikings played a pretty decent game, although they still gave up 31 points. They had the 2 interceptions, so that was good, but just not much to say. They had their moments of pressure and they got to him a couple of times, but more times than not, um, man, they just misplayed. Anthony Van Ginkel nearly had his third pick six of the year, but that was dropped. Zadarius Smith had a interception that was dropped, and another Lions player had another interception that was dropped. Sam Darnold got lucky tonight. He was kind of tossing it all over the field with abandon and really nothing to show for it. Aaron Jones was in and out of the lineup. I mean, is Aaron Jones hurt? Vikings fans, let me know down in the comments below, because for a time they went to Cam Akers for a couple drives and just like doesn't make any sense. Unless Aaron Jones is hurt, there's no reason why Cam Akers should be playing over Aaron Jones in a game where you need to win to get the number 1 seed. There's no reason for Cam Akers to be out there in the field. He's just not the same as Aaron Jones. Uh, Offensively, for Justin Jefferson, had a couple of catches, but more times than not, he was dropping them. He dropped an easy one in the end zone. Sure, you can say he was trying to tell where his feet landed out of bounds, but I mean, he skied it. It was in his hands, but just bopped out, fell out of bounds, and then there's another play. There's 7 straight plays where the Vikings gave Justin Jefferson or threw Justin Jefferson's way, and I think he maybe completed one of those 7 passes. Just they were stymied. Amik Robertson had a really good game, playing against his former teammate from LSU, and they played against each other in high school as well. Um, Offensively for the Lions, pretty darn good for the most part. They struggled at times, were unable to score a couple times, stood up because of um, Dan Gamble's generosity at times, but more times than not, they were able to score. They scored on fourth down a couple times, and Jahmyr Gibbs, what a night, what a night! He just could not be stopped. He scored 4 touchdowns. He had over 100 yards rushing. He was fantastic, especially in the second half. They just keep pounding in the ball, and he couldn't be stopped. The Vikings had literally no answer for Jahmyr Gibbs tonight. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a couple of really nice catches as well. Jameson Williams had a nice catch or two, although he on that deep bomb that was intended for him, he just lost track of it, and like I said, ended up as being an interception for Harrison Smith. But yeah, other than that, the Lions were dominant. Their kicker was better. I know you Vikings fans are gonna say, "Oh, again, you're just making stuff out of nothing." It's like Will Reichard missed a kick tonight. He kicked one out of bounds. Obviously, the pressure is getting to him. It is. Just give me some credit and give me a chance. The Vikings maybe don't need to move away from Will Reichard just yet, but it's got to be in the back of their minds, right? I mean, basically 4 missed field goals in the last 3 games. Yes, I know one was he only missed 2 technically in the game against Green Bay, but he did actually miss 3 because there was that stupid penalty that wasn't a penalty, and as a result the Packers lost the game. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not bitter at all. But again, it was so great to see the Vikings lose. So great. All you people out there saying, "Oh, the Vikings for the upset. Vikings for the upset. Oh, they're going to show why we're the best team in the league." And it's like, you came up woefully short. It's happening again, Vikings fan. It's happening again. Another quick exit for the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs. And yes, the Packers may very well exit as well, but the Vikings are supposedly a better team than the Packers, but the Packers only lost by 3, the Lions in Detroit, whereas the Vikings could only muster 3 field goals against the Lions who are hampered defensively. They're just losing players left and right. Their defense will be their downfall, and more times than not tonight, their defense was their fucking strength. Zadarius Smith was able to get to Sam Darnold a couple times. A couple other guys were able to get to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was under duress all night long. He had no answer for that defense. The defense just kept coming to him, and more times than not, they got to him and disrupted his throws. If you were in a late stage fantasy playoff this year and you were depending on Justin Jefferson, you're probably just shaking it, pulling your hair out of your head. It's just like, drop, overthrow. There's a couple overthrows to TJ Hawkinson, and one that he definitely should have gotten early in the first quarter that would have, sent him further down the field and hopefully could have ended in a touchdown. But no, they just had no answer for the defense tonight. The Lions were fantastic in every way. They absolutely dominated the Vikings from basically start to finish. And I mean, the Vikings had so many opportunities. They had so many opportunities. So many. But they only could muster 3 measly field goals. I know it could very well be different in the playoffs, but normally teams don't get better in the playoffs, especially after a loss like this. This is a big loss for the Vikings in a number of ways, for both their psyche and just seeding. I mean, the Vikings had a chance to get the number 1 overall seed, and now they're down to 5th, playing in LA. Now, sure, the Rams don't have any real fans. At least not a lot of them. So there's going to be a large portion of Vikings fans at that game for sure. But the Rams already beat the Vikings this year. Surely it was in LA, But the Rams have shown they can beat the Vikings. Matt Stafford is playing well. Puka Nacua is playing well. Cooper Kupp is destined for a big game at some point. Maybe it might be this game in the playoffs. Kieran Williams has been running very well this year. They have a couple of guys in the back end trying to make names for them, especially Jordan Whittington, and every now and then to do that well as well. And Blake Corum had a decent game in relief for Kieran Williams today. Well, not relief, because basically the Rams set all the serves because they had no reason to play, but still the Rams nearly beat them. Nearly beat the Seahawks today with their backup. So, I mean, if you're a Vikings fan, you should be a little concerned. You should be a little concerned. Yes, I know. Yes, I know you're 14-3. Yes, I know the Vikings are great and everything. But the Vikings showed today that they are not unbeatable. Far from it. And if you can hinder or if you can get to Sam Darnold, or at the very least hinder him, you're going to have a really good shot to win, because they have great pieces on offense, but Jordan Addison, nothing. Just nothing. And Justin Jefferson was the main target basically all night, and they had like maybe a handful of actual receptions. Not much to speak of. Aaron Jones was in and out of the lineup for reasons. I don't know if he's hurt or anything, but again, like I said earlier, there's no reason why Cam Akers should be in there over Aaron Jones unless Aaron Jones is tired or hurt. There's no reason for it, because Aaron Jones is clearly the better running back. Even still at his age, he's a better running back than Cam Akers, who's like 7 years his junior or something like that. But yeah, bad days for the Vikings are ahead, and they could very well lose on Sunday. I'll review the games this week one by one. I'll get back to reviewing games again, just because there's not as many, and it's the playoffs, so I might as well preview all of them. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm sure you Lions fans are fucking happy as a clam right now. You just beat one of your arch rivals. You beat them down. You beat them hard. And Vikings just had no answer for you tonight. Now we'll see if you Lions can get healthy at least a little bit. I mean, hopefully for your sake, Darnold does not need to be out for a long time, because that's a big loss. But man, Lions fans, you deserve the win tonight. You beat down the Vikings, and the rest of the NFL cheers your success. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Otherwise, have a great day, and as always, God bless, and go Pack, go.